ever wondered why all the apps want your location, your contacts, and even your voice? It's not because they are curious, it's because data right now is the most valuable asset in the world. More valuable than oil and more powerful than money. And today I'm going to show you how the companies collect the data, how they use it, and how law tries to protect us even if sometimes it fails. First, let's see how this valuable asset is created. It's so much simple. Every second of your life, you're creating data, you're producing data. When you scroll Instagram, when you walk with your phone in your pocket, when you buy a coffee with a credit card, when your smart TV is listening for your voice command, all of that becomes data. So all of us are the machines that produce data, which apps and companies will use it. What is the value of our data? How do the companies use that? Let's consider one simple example, Tesla. People sometimes think Tesla cars magically know everything about driving. But the truth is this: Tesla's intelligence comes from millions of real drivers sharing data. Every lane change, every brake, every accident feeds Tesla's system. That's why the car seems smart. It has already learned from millions of data and experiences. Another fascinating example. In 2013, Google predicted the outbreaks of flu 2 weeks earlier than the health system of America, simply by analyzing what people searched. So data isn't just the information. Data can literally tell the future. Because data is valuable, a lot of jobs and opportunity created around it. Jobs like data scientists, cybersecurity experts, data brokers, privacy lawyers, data protection officers, cloud storage giants. All of these are examples of the jobs that were created because of data. These jobs didn't exist 20 years ago. Data now is the most valuable commodity of the world. What is the dark side of data? Data can be used against you. One important and famous case about data misusage is Facebook in 2018. In 2018, Facebook and Cambridge Analytica became a global scandal. Facebook collected data on millions of people without their knowledge and used it to target political ads, influence emotions, and change voting behavior in the US presidential election. For the first time, the world realized something scary. Data can manipulate the entire society. This is when finally governments understood that data isn't just private, it's political. It's dangerous if it's in the wrong hands. And that's why laws like GDPR were born. What is GDPR? GDPR is the abbreviation for the General Data Protection Regulation and is the strongest data protection law in the world. It says you need a clear reason to collect data. So if you run an app and just collect data from people, in case that in some point in the future you may need that information, for some unknown reasons, it's illegal. GDPR says you must explain how the data will be used. So you cannot have vague privacy policies on your website and on your apps to collect data without any reason and without explaining how the data can be used. GDPR says people can access their own data. Because of this, you can ask TikTok, Instagram, or Spotify for a full copy of everything they know about you. GDPR says people can demand deletion. GDPR is the base for the famous phrase, right to be forgotten. GDPR says companies must delete data after a certain time. GDPR says if a breach happens, it must be reported fast. GDPR says companies are responsible for their contractors. What does it mean? It means that if you are working with some contractors and suppliers, and because of your nature of the business, you have to give some of the information of your customers, you are responsible for the behavior and reach of information and breach of information of that contractors and that suppliers. A famous example is British Airways case. In this case, British Airways used some third-party contractors for payments, but that contractor were hacked and some of the information of the customers were hacked and breached. So in this case, because of the GDPR, the British Airways were also responsible for the breach of the information. British Airways were fined £183 million, even though this amount later reduced, but still very massive. So GDPR is one of the reasons that big tech companies, especially in the Europe, listen to the law. When the app that you recently installed asks you for the location of you with 3 different options like allow all the time, allow while using the app, or never allowed, it's because of the GDPR regulations. Do you know that you can request a full copy of all of your photos, DMs, and comments and interactions from Instagram? Do you know that if you delete your Instagram account, they must delete all of your information after a certain period of time? All these features that you see on some apps like Instagram and think that this is all the idea of the app developers or managers, it's not true. Some of them is because of some laws like GDPR. These features exist because law demands transparency and control. Unlike Europe, the US does not have a federal act like GDPR for data protection. They have regulations for some specific areas like medical information or the information of the child's under 13 or financial information. But overall, Europe with GDPR is the leader in data protection. So that's the story. From predicting diseases, from manipulating elections to $1 million fine, data is shaping our world more than ever before. Understanding the law behind data isn't just optional, it's essential now. Thank you for watching this video.